Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I'm taking on a Tangram assembly puzzle by Florian Wertmann today, who assembles some of the best Sudokus around. This one is inspired by Juggler's Tangram puzzle that I think Simon's done a week or two ago, feels like. It's just a feeling. And it includes fractions. I'll say no more till we get to the rules. We'll have a look then. It is just fascinating as an idea, and I'm looking forward to grappling with it now. I was requested for an update on the pigeons, and I'm back in my flat after a week. And I thought I had taken a photo of the pigeon eggs, the two little white eggs lying there, but I can't find that, so maybe I didn't. So what I did today when I opened the blind, I'm trying to do this as little as possible, open it once in the day and close it once in the day to disturb the pigeons as little as I can, let them have a little bit of family life. And I got to see these two nestlings, so there they are. I mean, I can't make out much about them, but that is the picture at the moment. So they have hatched. The pigeons are underway, they're growing up, the parents turn up regularly, and I can't actually tell, they hunker down so low in the window box I can't actually tell if they're there most of the time, but I think they are. Or one of them is, probably the mother, he said, in a very primogenitural assuming pose, but I don't know. Anyway, I cannot sex pigeons, despite what you think of my abilities. That is happening there. So there we go. An update has been provided. Now, don't forget that you can grapple with the supervillains of the world in Dangerous to Know, our Patreon Sudoku hunt for this month. It's an odd job perhaps, but somebody has to do it, and you are just the person. Go over to Patreon, join us if you haven't done it already, and have a go at that 5 or 6 puzzle hunt. It's not too hard this month. Last month's, which is a bit harder, all the videos are now up on Patreon for the $3 a month and above Patreons, who can follow those videos and see if their solution paths were as intended, or if they solved them better than I do on a walkthrough, which is also quite possible. Those are on Patreon now. Check out our apps as well. Loads of brilliant apps, including Killer Sudoku. Doesn't have any cages that look like these, I can assure you. But is great fun to grapple with, and there are some brilliant puzzles in it. Do check it out. Very good value. And all the links are under the video, including to Sven's SUDOKU pad and our merchandise. Now, let's do this puzzle. Let's do the rules first of all. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we'll put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits in a cage sum to the indicated total. Cells that half appear in a cage, like this one, only contribute half their value to its sum. Cells that quarter appear in a cage, which I suppose includes this one, whatever digit is in here is quarter appearing in that cage, that cage, that cage, and that cage. They only contribute a quarter of their value to its sum. Digits appear at most once in the same cage, and half appearing twice, I suppose the same digit could have theoretically been in those cells, but that's now not being allowed. Half appearing twice counts as appearing once. I think that rule might have been different in Juggler's version. Maybe I'm just making something up now, I don't know. Anyway, it applies here, and that's all we get. We get a few totals, of course, in the grid. Give it a try. I've no idea how long this is going to take, but I am going to grapple with it now. Let's get cracking. And I mean, let's start here. Surely these are integer values in their cages, so this is going to have to be a digit that is divisible by 4. So it's either 4 or 8. Now, if that was a 4, it's contributing 1 to each cage. So the other digits would be 1, 3, 5, 7. If that was an 8, it's contributing 2, and you'd need a 0 here, 2, 4, and 6. I'm not putting a 0 in my puzzle, so that's a 4. 1, 3, 5, 7. There we go. Now, let's do this similar plus shape, because I bet we can. This is, again, 4 or 8, it's contributing a quarter of its value to these. So if that was a 4, then that's value is 1 in each cage. So we would go 6, 7, 8, 9. If that was an 8 contributing 2, we would have 5, 6, 7, 8. And that would be 2 8s in the row, in the box, in the cage. Illegal. So that is 4 again, which is a bit surprising. I thought we were going to get the different versions. And then we go 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And Florian's given us a start, basically. Oh, 6 is a very low number here. So if we're... what digit can go here? Not 1, 4, 5, 6, or 9. Obviously not 7 or 8, because its full integer value counts towards 6. Now this, I don't know, this can't work. Even if you put 1, 2, 4, 5 in there and halve them. That's too many. Oh, you're not halving them, you're quartering them. These are quartered. Right, I mean, this is an absolute key thing about solving this puzzle, is in these larger, now that we've got out of boxes 1 and 9, you can add up the digits that go in the halved or quartered cells and quarter their totals. Like, you don't have to get an integer result from quartering this digit. In fact, you can't put 4 digits that quarter into those cells. So we're going to put a total into these cells that, when quartered, gives the balance of either 4 or 3. Now, if that was a 3, these would have to add up to 12. And they can't be 1, 2, 4, and 5, because you can't put 2 of those digits in this column. So that is a 2, and these digits add up to 4 times 4, 16, which when quartered gives 4 towards the cage total. So they add up to 16. The lowest these can be is 3 and 6. But here you could have a 1 and a 3. No. Well, if we were having 3 and 6 here... oh, I see. 4 can't go in any of these. So the lowest 4 digits are 1, 3, 5, 6, which adds up to 15, doesn't it? 1, 3, 5, 6. 6, 11, 14, 15. So we need them to add up to 16. So we can only boost that total by 1. And these must be 1, 3, 5, 7, since we can't put 4 in the cage, and we can't put 2 on these cells. So these are 1, 3, 5, 7. Right, 1, 5 are forced out of those cells. That's a 3, that's a 7. This is the 1, 5 pair. These digits are 3, 7, and 8. And these ones are 6, 8, and 9. So I'm being forced to do something with one of these cages. I don't think that 14 is very fertile ground. That number is so much more than 6 that I don't really want to tackle that. I'm going to try and tackle this instead. Ah, look, I have to be very careful, having just discovered that that cell is quartered. This one is quartered too. I can't put an odd digit in here, I don't think. Because if I did, an odd digit divided by 4 gives us a number that ends in 0.25 or 0.75, 1 quarter or 3 quarters. And that can never be tidied up, however many halves I get from halving odd digits here. It can't ever be tidied up into an integer total. I think I'm allowed to assume that odd means an integer total. I'd better be. So the digit I have to put in here is even. That's going to apply here, here, and here as well. I'm just going to note that because I don't want to forget it. It's a lesson. Oh, this central box. Ah, yes, these 4 digits. They're all even as well. Oh, this is getting interesting. They are definitely even, because they're the only digit that gets fractioned to contribute to their cages, which are all obviously integer totals. So those are all even. And look at this pattern of evens that I've now created. Let's do that in light blue. Right. I can do maths on this cage. Now, do you know the secret that every row, column and box in a Sudoku adds up to the same number? It's so exciting. That number is 45 because it's the sum of 1 to 9, and the rules say those go in every row, column and box. Now, for this box, I'm only talking about the real digits, the actual value of the digits. The numbers that go in the cages are in some cases tampered with by the rules. And in fact, in these cages, we can add up 2, 4, 6, and 8, which add up to 20. Divide half that, we get 10, and that's the value going into these cages. So if we add up the cage totals and subtract 10, and the cage totals add up to 34, we subtract 10, these 4 digits, which are odd, add up to 24. And I know that the 5 odd digits add up to 25 because there are 5 of them and the average is a 5. And therefore 25 minus 24 means the odd digit outside the cages here is a 1. And I think that means we can definitely write 3 into this 5 cage because 5 would bust it. Now we need something that will give us a 2 here by halving, so that's a 4. Then this is either 5 with a 6 there or 7 with a 2 there. This one, well, where's 9? 9 is not here because it would need a 4 there. 9 in the box is there, and this is a 2, and that's now a 6, giving 3 to its cage, which has a 5. That's an 8, giving 4 to its cage, which needs a 7. Bingo. We can, I can write in a 4 here apparently. How do I know that couldn't be 8? Because that's in one of those cells. Yes. Right. So we can quarter that 4 to get a 1. Now, these digits are going to have to give an integer. And that means they're either both odd or both even. And in this case, they must both be even. And this is odd. And now in this cage, we have 1 from that cell, half of 14 from those, so we're up to 8. And plus 9 is 17, which is an odd number. So that has worked fine. I still can't do that 1, 5. I can do this 6, 8 pair, thanks to that. Now here, from 2 or 6, we're going to get a number that ends in a half. Either 0.5 or 1.5 in fact. Therefore, we need one of these to be odd only and the other to be even. And that means this is an odd number in the middle. And one of these is 8, and I don't know which one. Now, this is 3 or 5 by Sudoku. Just looking around to see if I've missed any opportunities to do anything. This is giving just 2, an even number from quartering 8. That's one. What are the Sudoku possibilities? They're multifarious, unfortunately. Well, okay, these two are both of the same parity. In fact, they have to add up to a certain parity that I haven't worked out. That's a 2, which is even. This is a full 3 or 5, which is odd. So we're at an odd total so far. So these have to, when halved, give us an even number. And that means they have to add up to something that is, the digits have to add up to something that is twice an even number. They could add up to 4 by being 1 and 3. They could add up to 8 by being 2 and 6. They could add up to 12. I wish I hadn't worked that out. I'm just going to mark them. Those two digits have to add up to an even number, is what I learned slowly. That is 5 or 9. We've got 3. Oh, this is 5 or 9 as well, because we have 3 and 7 are definitely used up there. So that is 3 or 7 as well. And then what do we have going on up at the top here? 7, 4, 3, 1, 5. I don't know how to do. Oh, this 8 cage. I've been avoiding this 14 cage, and I've been wondering how I'm meant to use the 8 cage, and I still don't really know. I want to get the digits reduced in that. Okay, let's have a look at this 14 cage. It's difficult though, because there could be all sorts in this. So 8, 9, 6, 4. I don't know if this puzzle is meant to get harder as we go. Oh, that can't be 7. This is where 7 goes in the row. 7 is in one of these cells. Now, can 7 be in this 8 cage? These two would have to add up to 2 before being halved. They're not allowed to be the same digit by the rule, so that is not a 7. That is 7. Then we've got a 7 here by Sudoku, and that's contributing 3.5 to this cage. This needs to be odd. It's not allowed to be 7. It's not 3 or 9. It's 1 or 5. These are therefore contributing 8 or 12. Divide those by 2 and you get 4 or 6. And this ends up being 2 or 4, but I don't get to know which. However, this is 1 or 5. Is that interesting for me? I'm not sure. 8, 4, 6, 9, 7. Oh, I don't know. Do I have to work this stuff out? Maybe I can. I don't think I can, because 3 and 7 are so similar here that whatever, you know, whether this is a 3-8 or a 7-8 pair, it's going to give the same kind of total. Oh, I've got that digit looking at a 7 now. That's a 3. Ah, that's a 7. There we go. Now that's an 8 and that's a 3. There was more Sudoku that I hadn't spotted. I mean, that's often the way. Right, now, I still don't think it's going to matter. But anyway, 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. Plus 7 is 12.5. Ah, I'm either going to add half or 1.5 to 12.5. Well, it's going to be the former because I want to get to 13, not 14. So that is a 2. Oh, that was a differentiator. Goodness me. So that's a 6, and that is supplying 1.5 in this case. Let's just Sudoku mark these digits up. 1, 5, or 8 there. 3 is in one of those cells by Sudoku. 2 is in one of those two. I nearly stuck it in there by mistake. 2, 7, 3, 8, 9, 2, 7, 3. 6 is in one of those two. I just don't think Sudoku, well, I thought before Sudoku wasn't going to give me anything, and it did. So I should really check these off carefully. I just think this is hard to figure out. So 6 appears in one of those cells. If it was there, these would have to add up to 8 times 4 is 32. They can't do that. The digits can't. So 6 is not there. It's there. Oh, this has to be quite big, doesn't it? Right, well, it's got to be bigger than 6. It's got to be 9 because it sees 7 and 8. Ah, so this has to be 9. Then these digits add up to 5 times 4 is 20. Now, if I didn't use 8, I'd be down to 6, 5, 4, 3 at a maximum. They only add up to 18, so I've got to use 8. That's got to go in here. Now they add up to 14 out of the 20 total. These add up to 6. They're either 5, 1 in that order or 2, 4 in either order, but that's not a 3. So I can place 3. Sudoku marking helped. Now in this row, that's not a 9. Oh, more importantly, this isn't a 9. This is a 5. That's not a 9. This is a 1, and that's a 2. Right, let's check this total. 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So we're up to 3 plus 5 is 8. That worked. That's a 9 by Sudoku. Now, this is either a 2, oh, it's not a 2, 4 pair. We've got a 4 down there. So it's 5 and 1. And I mean, I've done that maths enough to know that that's going to work. Now I can finish these digits off, 3, 2 and 6, and check this total. I can't remember what I needed yet. I did need yellow to add up to an even number. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we've got 6 so far, plus 3 is 9, and that's right. Now, can I finish this off? Still not, apparently. I bet I'm going to have to know which goes with which possible number there. Anyway, let's fill in the other digits because we're getting close to a finish now. 6 and 1 there. Oh my goodness, something's gone wrong here. Something's gone wrong in the state of Denmark. Because I want, yeah, it's not 6 and a 1 there, it's 6 and a 5. That's better. This is 1 and a 4. Okay, very brief glitch while Mark corrects his error. 7 and 2 are done there. 1 and 3 are done. That sorts out the 1 and 5 pair on the tangram down here. We need a 3 in this box. 1, 4, 5, 7, 3, 2, 6, 8, 9 to place. That's annoying. Okay, 7, 2, 3, 1, 5. Down here, 4, 6, 8, 9 to place. 8's in one of those, 4's in one of those, 9's in one of those. I am going to have to sort out this 8 disambiguator here. Right, let's figure it out. If that's giving us 3.5. If this is a 1, that's a 4. If this is a 5, that's a 2. So if it's 1, 4, that has no possible fill. So it's 2, 5. There we go. That's the last thing we need to learn. That's a 4, that's a 1. Maybe this was a naked single anyway, which would have been a good thing to spot, but any way you get there is fine. 8 and 4. This is an 8 and a 9 in this row. Can't do those yet. This is a 2 and a 6, which I must be able to do. Down the final column, I've got a 1 and then a 5 and a 2. That's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 6, that's a 5. 6 and 8 here. 4 and 9, and then 8 and 9 finishes us off. And that is a very cleverly assembled puzzle. Oh, I can't believe that's only 18 minutes in the end. That felt like a bit of a marathon to me. Not a Russ Cook style marathon perhaps, but quite a long run anyway. Excellent puzzle, great fun. Hope you had a go at that and hope you enjoyed the maths in it, if nothing else. I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.